rolling down the eastern seaboard.
Hello and welcome to Oh the Horror. I'm Fedora, and it's time to jump back into Rusty's blood-coloured leather upholstery for the latest entry in the Joyride franchise.
Well, let me tell you something, Fedora. Now that it's Christmas, and you're finally reviewing Santa's sleigh, the Hulkster and his 12-inch pythons have a few things they want to say to old Bill Goldberg.
Christmas was months ago! Where the hell have you been?
Yeah, it has been a few months, brother, but when you got hair this golden and flowing, and a tash this fantastic, style like that doesn't just happen, brother.
Well anyway, this is 2014's Joyride 3 Roadkill.
So, this movie starts with the stars of Rob Zombie's next project, showing us all that romance isn't dead.
Fuck!
Before horrifyingly finding out that they seem to have run out of these mysterious, clear candy canes that you need to heat up for some reason. Weird. So the dude jumps onto the CB to see if anyone around can hook them up.
Hi there. This is Candy and I'm looking for some company. Any lonely truckers out there?
Oh, this is Rusty Nail. I knew a candy cane once.
Where you at, baby?
But if you ask me to bring pink champagne, you can shove it right up your ass.
They manage to lure Rusty, this time played by Freddy vs. Jason's Ken Kirzinger, to meet them at their skanky hotel in hopes of robbing him. And I know this is a nitpick critique, but that clearly isn't the same truck he ended the second movie with.
So in all, Rusty's abused 2 trucks and ended up losing them. Well, I guess this time he's being played by Daddy 05.
Obviously this thievery attempt fails, and we then cut to Rusty having kidnapped the 2 and chained them to the bonnet of his truck with a little game for them to play.
All you gotta do is hang on for 1 mile. Not fall off, I'll set you free. But if one of you slips, the chain will tighten and pull you both out into the truck.
And also, you gotta do it naked. Yeah, it's kind of my thing. I can't say for sure, but this doesn't really look that hard to do. Nah, a harder thing to do would be trying to justify why the hell they're still bothering to hide Rusty's face anymore. I mean, they clearly aren't doing the truck is the villain thing, so unless Ken and Mark just happen to have some really bad acne on shooting day, I don't see the point of this.
It'll be fine, okay? Just like before!
Before? What, this isn't the first time this has happened?
Yeah, Jigsaw pulled this crap on us last week. Up your game, man!
Oh, and by the way, Rusty stuck a bag of crystal onto his windscreen before taking off as a prize for them completing his quest, which they do. But the girl goes for the bag too early, which ends up dragging them both under the truck. And this 10-minute intro was brought to you by Supplement 411. Stay clean. Stay off the windscreen. After this intense opening credits sequence filmed in mood-setting carnival glass mode, we meet up with a few of our heroes, including Chris Evans reprising his role as Jake Wilder. Okay, so this is Jordan and his mechanic friend Mikey, who along with their friends are working towards a big upcoming race they're participating in, imaginatively called Road Rally 1000. What guys, was Race Cars Extreme already taken? Oh look, the police have descended on the body parts. I'm sure they'll have this sorted out in no time.
Well, it could have been a murder.
The fuck was that?
Why is the idea of a pile of body parts dumped on the road being a murder looked at as being so ridiculous? What was the name of this highway that you just a second ago mentioned?
They don't call it Slaughter Alley for nothing.
I'm sorry, I guess in this universe, Slaughter Alley is the place people come to commit suicide by spontaneously falling to pieces.
Well, all this murder has certainly worked up my appetite. So let's head over to this trucker's diner to catch back up with the cast of Bored in 60 Seconds, who are talking about, what else? Taking an off-the-beat shortcut in order to save some time getting to the race.
You know what they call that stretch of highway? No? Slaughter Alley. You know why?
Obviously not.
Because more people die or disappear on that road than any other road in the United States. They say a trucker patrols that highway looking for people to kill.
Okay, so Rusty is apparently public knowledge? Well, to be honest, that doesn't really surprise me. With his constantly being on the radio, giving out his personal phone number, and murdering people in plain sight, the only way this guy could be any less discreet would be adorning his truck with dead prostitutes. That being the case, what do you have to say on the matter, officer?
There's nothing wrong with that highway. Just stay below the speed limit, you'll be fine.
This is the kind of guy who Mayor Vaughan wished he hired as Sheriff of Amity Bay.
So obviously the kids ignore Crazy Ralph's warnings and proceed to Slaughter Alley, where it doesn't take them long to bump into Rusty. And how do they incur his wrath this time around? By cutting him off in traffic. Ooh, geez. That's at least 7 fingers worth of sorries for you guys. So, a hidden truck driver on a deserted highway stalking someone who dared overtake him. Okay, so instead of simply being inspired by a duel, we're throwing in the towel and just straight up ripping it off. All Jordan needs now is to grow a manly 70s tash. An oncoming car causes Rusty to lose control and the teens to escape. But thanks to his DVD of the movie, I guess, he manages to grab their license plate number, which allows him to get everyone's name, date of birth, how they like their eggs cooked, all that bullshit. Naturally, this stresses everybody out, but not nearly as much as it does Jordan's girlfriend Jewel, who flips her shit at the idea of Rusty reporting them to the cops before they report him.
You're making the wrong decision. You're being a fucking idiot. You can't make that decision for the rest of us.
Your first movie role was Electra. You have no right at all to criticize anybody about poor decision making.
So she drags this dude away to head to the nearest police station while the others continue on towards the race. But along the way, the two get a very sudden flat tire.
Oh shit, they've stumbled onto the creepers territory.
The flat tire doesn't do much other than give Rusty's slow ass time to catch up, and after a quick chase, they get into definitely a far more impressive car crash than the last movie, and Rusty loads the two into his truck for some more torture.
Well, you didn't think that one through, did you, Rusty? How's he supposed to roll the dice now?
You know, this is almost like that scene from Kingpin, only if Roy Munson needed to get a prosthetic face as well. Jewel, however, has a far worse fate in store for her. She has to star in Rusty's remake of the Blair Witch Project. Spoiler, nobody gives a shit about that version either. He gets on the radio and gives Jordan and friends 1 hour to meet him in a warehouse before Jewel dies. And they better hurry, because the cops sure aren't going to be of any help. In fact, I'm 90% sure this guy thinks this car died of natural causes. The teens arrive at said warehouse, where Rusty then sends a Facebook link of his copy of this movie to Jordan's phone.
You fucker.
Video piracy. It's worse than murder. Okay, this angle is just making me think Jordan is going to do a striptease. Why is that a thing with this franchise? After a failed attempt by our heroes to sneak attack Rusty, he takes off with the kids in hot pursuit. All the while, Deputy Jonah Hill here pulls over some other truck driver that obviously isn't Rusty, because anyone who was paying attention saw that he drove off without his trailer. So why are you trying to make this suspenseful? Ah, there he is, breaking cars in half again. And he does have his trailer, so haha, fuck you, consistency. Speaking of which, now they're suddenly showing his face?
Spoiler?
And he kills another one of their friends using the Predator's BDSM gear, followed by giving Jordan his next meeting spot, which is at a nearby junkyard. But Mikey is the one trying to be sneaky and look around, which ends about as well as can be expected for him.
Do you think Mickey's okay?
Yeah, Mickey's a tough nut.
Jordan finally comes face to face with Rusty, who has Jewel locked up in a car trunk, which he has just lowered into a crusher. He just fucking tripped over him. Considering this is the second time I've seen Ken Kirzinger violently assault this actor, I'm guessing the two of them just really bonded during FVJ's bedroom scene. Aw, bitch, my fucking car! Oh shit, it looks like Jewel wasn't in the crusher at all. It was just a recording, and she's already dead. I don't know why Rusty bothered to lie about that if he was just going to kill Jordan without telling him. Maybe he's going for a double whammy? Fuck with the kids and collect some sweet insurance for a new JCV? No, dude. Nobody is allowed to attack somebody with a crane while wearing a leather jacket unless they immediately piss fire afterwards. Before Rusty can use his truck to crush Mikey's girlfriend, Jordan manages to grab him with the crane and dump him in the crusher instead.
He's dead.
Yeah, sure he is. And so, with the police arriving and probably looking for this truck's suicide note, this movie comes to an end with Rusty doing the hitchhiking this time.
What's your name?
Rusty. Rusty Nail.
Well, Rusty, I don't run no charity, so...
And that was Joyride 3, Roadkill.
Okay, I did enjoy this film a lot more than the second movie, because like the difference between Lost Boys 2 and 3, it took itself far less seriously, up to the action, and had some much more satisfying death scenes, which, while obviously very Saw-inspired, weren't too crazy that you couldn't see some bored trucker developing himself. My only real critique here was mainly Rusty's face still being hidden, which, as I mentioned, didn't seem to have much of a point anymore, but they changed that near the end, so, I don't know, guess that was resolved. Also, is it just me or is Rusty really random in this movie with his ploys? I mean, there was no rhyme or reason for anything he was doing. But, ignoring this, it's a pretty fun gore flick and definitely recommended.
And that's all from me for tonight, so, I'm Fedora, this is Oh the Horror, save a screen for me, and we'll see you next time.
Here comes Speed Racer, he's a demon on wheels. He's a demon and he's gonna be